Hey yo, I know I've been talking a lot about worms this week and show off my decks and stuff, but that was interesting to me this week. I'm gonna talk about it. I got an agenda where I'm just trying to force people to play worms or anything, but that's what I want to do. So that's what I'm gonna talk about today. And I'm here actually gonna talk about the weaknesses of worms today, because worms got a couple weaknesses, you know. I mean, they're strong cards and everything, but alright. So I got my worm deck right here. But I don't really need to tell y'all about one. Cause I got this. The weaknesses are pretty much cut and paste, like the weaknesses you would find in any other deck. But they're a little more extreme with the worms, just because Reptile don't have a lot of support. You know, they have some support, but they're not the most supported card out there. So the weaknesses that a normal deck would have, they're kind of accentuated with the worms a little bit. Okay, so the worms' first weakness, they're all light monsters. The worm reptiles all light monsters, so cards that target light monsters that you usually use against fairies or but you can use them against the worms and kind of cripple them a little more. And fairies kind of have their own protective cards to protect them from getting hit by them so much, because that's expected. But light reptiles aren't what you were expecting to combat. Like when you think reptiles, you probably think Earth, or maybe probably just Earth, but or dark too. Yeah, you probably think dark when you think reptiles, but they're all light, so kind of leaves them a little bit of a disadvantage. And they have very average attack power. They're a little less than average in a lot of cases. Like which ones? The agents were kind of cookie cutter. They had 15 to 18 to 21 to 24 to and I'm mostly 21 if you count as radius, but into 27, which was Hyperion. So that was kind of like, it was manageable. You could kind of work with a little bit. But the worms, their attack power is generally kind of low until you get to their level 8s. And they're very, and everything below level 8 is kind of like one step lower. Like the 2000 versus the 2100, or their 17 versus 18, you know, when it comes to attack power. So the worms kind of have a little bit of a disadvantage here. Next thing with the worms, their effects. Most of them are flip effects, and their flip effects aren't the best things out there. I mean, they're good and everything, but their flip effects aren't good enough to... They're not good enough to have the one turn you need to wait to activate the effects. Because, like Worm Opera, for instance, that flips, you drop 500 attack points on your opponent's side of the field. It's not really worth the wait, you know? Because your opponent has Stardust out. Attacks Worm Opera, destroys and lose 500. Stardust is still at 2,000, and worms are pretty weak. Like you probably draw a level 4 with like 16 or 1700 attack points. So worms aren't very powerful when it comes to attack power, and they kind of get a disadvantage at that point. They don't have anything like that I've seen. I mean, they have Wormy Again. That's pretty good. When you attack, because that when that's flipped up, you get to return something to hand. So you, I don't know. I think I've said this before. Their best combo is Worm X and summoning him first turn, second turn, whatever. Sending Wormy Again to the grave and immediately bring Wormy Again face down. That's probably the best thing you can do with the deck right there. As far as low level combos, that's my favorite. I also run 3 Call of Haunted in this deck to kind of make up from I'll ditch high level worms to kind of make up for the low attack power with Worm X, and I'll use Call of Haunted or Monster Reborn or something to bring them back. So I kind of have some high attack power on the field and kind of stop opponents from summoning so many low levels so they can sink or whatever. And so yeah, that's what those are kind of some of the problems I see with worms. They're light, so a lot of Ally of Justice can demolish this deck. Worse, fairies might have a chance, but against Ally of Justice against worms, they're just going to get demolished. They would have no way of really combating that, you know. If you don't know what Ally of Justice is, it's all just destroys light monsters, man. I'll probably look at some of those later, probably this weekend, but yeah. And I'll only be like a one video thing. I hate Ally of Justice. They're really dumb cards. But for the purposes, because I do a lot of fairies and worms, and my favorite decks right now, they're light, so I need to show the counter to that. Anyway, that's it. These are some of the weaknesses of worms. They're light, and they're low attack power, so you need to compensate for that. I was running 3 solidarities before, but I decided to stop doing that. See what I could do without them. But yeah, you need to compensate for that. And, you know. Oh, you just got intellectually checkmated. I don't know what he does. I don't remember what the guy does, but yeah.